Hey guys, everything new in the sun here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to one sort of market update or prophecy update a day just for my own sanity. But what I'm going to try and do is maybe put a couple of articles together instead of doing a whole bunch of single ones or two single ones. I've been doing 3 videos every single day, the homestead stuff and then obviously the prophecy stuff. And it takes some time, and I'm just life is just getting busy to make the videos. It takes time, obviously, to make the videos. So this is a zero hedge article. I'm going to be talking about gold in general today. It's just interesting to see what the large companies are doing. Goldman closes short gold recommendation with 4.5% loss. Will continue buying gold from its clients. So Goldman Sachs was shorting gold. That means they were betting that it would go downwards, and now they've closed that position. They were recommending that for all their clients to go ahead and short gold. They've closed that now because gold keeps increasing in value. Back in February 15th, just as the USD was about to plunge, unleashing the global risk as a result of won stability, Goldman triumphantly announced its latest trading recommendation: short gold at 1205 with a target of 1,000 and 7% stop loss. This being Goldman, the one hedge fund whose prop traders immediately take the other side of all trade pitches to clients, said clients were immediately and brutally taken to the cleaners as a consequence of the tumbling dollar. So it seems like they recommended something, knowing that it was incorrect, so that they could take the other side of it, have all your clients go one way, and you take the other side of it so that you win that bet. So interesting there. This is another zero hedge article. If you've got gold, you've got money. If not, you've got a problem. Now, in terms of Bible prophecy, I guess what I want to specify or clarify is that, if this isn't the end times, if we're not within, a year of the end times or something, then there could be another economic collapse, maybe disassociated from the 7-year tribulation period, the direct end time stuff that occurs, just like 1929 happened. But the Lord didn't return, and hasn't yet. If it's another 1929, then you need to be prepared in other ways. If the Lord's not going to return immediately, like within the next 10 years, then you need to be smart and you need to recognize that this is coming. Because the fundamentals, the secular fundamentals, the financial stuff that is occurring indicates a massive bubble and economic collapse, depression soon, regardless of whether the Lord's going to return. So I think it's interesting to look at gold and if you've got extra money, then maybe that's where you want to put it, because gold and silver worked through 1929. It lasted as a value, a store of wealth through 1929. Whereas if you were holding your money in the stock markets in fiat currency, then you would have lost a lot of it. So it's just part of being wise, and so I think precious metals are a good example. Silver has been the poor man's currency for 6,000 years, whatever it's been, right? Since man's been on the earth, it's always been worth something and traded as such. So is gold, but gold is kind of for more the rich, more the pure store of wealth versus the kind of the money that you use to buy your groceries every day, because gold is worth so much more. Akin to ancient Rome, the United States has overextended herself. She has created a climate that could easily be transformed into a war in a slight pretext. And you'll recognize that I read an article like this. This is excerpts from that article. Wars, as it is well known, are also a means the nations can extricate itself from debt and financial responsibility. One would have been blinded or either denial or ignorance by the escalating political and military tensions between U.S. and Russia. And it goes on here, suggesting that we're going to go into war here. And the point of basically of this is that Alistair offers some original insight into the manner in which the inevitable geopolitical and financial reset might unfold. And effectively the title is, if you've got gold, you've got money. If you haven't got gold, you've got a problem. And there's a video, so you can watch the video if you want. But the idea is that there's going to be a reset, and the powers that be are going to reset the economy because they can't afford the debt. You have to mark down all that debt. You have to make that debt worth less. So if you have $10 worth of debt, how do you get rid of that debt, or how do you make it easier, an easier burden? You devalue that debt. So $10, if you were able to buy 10 loaves of bread with that $10 before, that $10 of debt. Well, if they devalue it and say you can only buy 5 loaves of bread with that $10, then that means you technically owe less to the people you're in debt to. They can request less. So you give them 5 loaves of bread in exchange for that debt. And that's all they can request, because that's all your fiat currency is valued at right now. So going to war, resetting the economy, will devalue that debt, and that's what they want to do because it can never be paid off. There's just too much of it. So let's look at article CNBC here. Goldman Sachs again raises gold forecast. Now you saw the first article there where they were short gold and they were playing that side of things. Now they're raising gold forecasts on weaker greenback. So now they see it going upwards. Goldman Sachs on Tuesday raised its gold price forecast for the coming months, setting stronger net speculative positioning and recently weaker U.S. dollar. The influential bank has revised its 3, 6, and 12-month price outlooks for gold, raising them respectively from $1,200 per ounce to $1,800, $1,180 per ounce, and $1,150 per ounce from $1,100 per ounce, $1,050 per ounce, and $1,000 per ounce in the earlier forecast. Gold rose above $1,200 an ounce in early February for the first time since mid-2015, gaining as the greenback weakened. In anticipation of coming interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve, gold has now been holding above $1,250 for most of the past 3 weeks. Go back to that. Still, Goldman cautioned that there was still not much scope for further increases in gold. Looking ahead, we see limited upside for gold pricing, giving limited room for the Fed to surprise to the downside, limited room for the dollar to depreciate, and limited room for China to drive emerging markets currency strength to contribute to the dollar weakness, the bank said. The U.S. dollar index against a basket of major currencies rose to a near 2-week high on Tuesday. So now they're seeing an increase, in the price of gold over the next coming months. I think we'll further see a lack of confidence in the U.S. dollar, further decrease in value is my take from all the information that I look at, all the secular information, all the movement of gold and silver, and all the very smart people who say that the debt is unsustainable. We owe so much money, and so inevitably it's going to increase. But even if it's not, gold. Remember, gold is not an investment. You don't necessarily look for gold to increase in value. What it is, it's a store of wealth. If I put my $10 into precious metals now, it's going to be worth the equivalent that I could buy now with $10, in 10 years. I'll still be able to buy that same amount of goods with that gold or silver, with that equivalent amount of gold and silver. Whereas if I just hold a $10 bill now, I can buy X number of goods, and in 10 years I will probably be able to buy less goods for that same $10 bill. Whereas gold and silver preserve that wealth. That same $10 value now, head 10 years into the future, I can buy the same amount of food and water or whatever with that gold. So it preserves your purchasing power, and that's the whole point of it. So if we're heading into a scenario where the economy collapses, it's a depression time like 1929, and we are far the situation is far worse. The bubble is far larger. The stakes are far higher. We are in such a worse position than we were in 1929 that if it does occur, and it will occur almost in the blink of an eye if you want to look at it from that prophetic sort of idea, it's going to turn out one morning, the market's going to panic, they're going to close, banks are going to close, and you're going to be left with whatever you have in your house, in your storage for food, water. You're going to be left with whatever there is, and you won't have any time to go to the grocery store because everyone will have already been there ahead of you. And so, like I say, if the Lord doesn't return immediately, and if there is a massive financial crash, which I think is probably fits directly into the prophetic scenario anyways, but if we don't head straight into that, then I don't see why another reset is out of the realm of possibility, and I think it's almost inevitable. especially if we do not go into the like tribulation period. Then it's inevitable that a reset will occur, or a switch of the world reserve currency from US dollar to something else. I think that's what we're heading towards. So the gold and silver becomes a hedge against that. So does keeping chickens, for example, keeping livestock that are gonna that you're gonna be able to produce more of, reproduce. With chickens, you can incubate them if you have a way to do that. With crops, as long as you have seed crops, the seeds to replant the next year. That's something that will store value year over year. And so if the economy does crash, then you'll have something that you can sell, something that you can grow, something that you can produce, eggs or meat with, that you can resell to others who will be looking for food at that period of time. So as I said, if the Lord doesn't return, it is also wise, if you see what's coming, it's wise to be prepared. A quick look at the financial markets here. The pre-market, for what it's worth today, the markets are up and down right now. Nothing super spectacular happening. The futures are down 45 points there. The EU is down. They're dragged lower by Italian banks, apparently oil waivers. Asia is up a little bit. Let's see, where oil is hovering around $45 a barrel right now. It went up a bit because of the fires in Fort McMurray, obviously, speculation there. And the page decided to reload. Awesome. So I want to go over to gold and silver here, along with the general theme of the video. Come on, gold. So gold is up at $12.76 right now, and silver's at $17.56, near $18. And a couple months ago it was only at 14. So that would have been a good time to buy, because the dollar was US dollar was high at that point in time. So now the US dollar is decreasing in value. The price of gold and silver isn't increasing or decreasing necessarily. Rather, it's reflecting the value of the US greenback. The value of a US dollar is decreasing. That means you need more US dollars to buy the same ounce of silver. And that's why we see silver going up here. The US sorry. The US dollar is inflating. It's worth less now than it was a couple months ago, and that's why gold and silver are increasing in value. So you can see they kind of stay at the same level, if you want to look at it that way. And the fiat currency goes up and down with speculation and markets and whatever. But gold and silver kind of stay at the same level. You can still buy the same number of things, the same amount of goods and services with an ounce of silver. 6 months ago versus now, whereas with the same US dollar you can't buy the same amount of goods and services 6 months ago versus now. That's kind of the explanation of it. So it acts as a good preservation of wealth. So that's your look at gold. It's heading upwards. So if the Lord doesn't return in the next 10 years, it could be smart to get some land, pay off your house, get some livestock, maybe even preserve some wealth in some gold and silver, as it's always been money. Now, in 1929, when the crash happened, I think it was just after that, or maybe in the 70s, where they outlawed gold and silver. Basically, they said you couldn't own it because I guess it would be prior to 70. I forget the time range, whenever, but they outlawed gold and silver because they want to back the currency with it, and so they they basically set the currency to gold and silver and said you can't own any of it, and the government confiscated it all. So that could happen as well, but will they confiscate livestock? Probably not. So that's part of diversifying your portfolio in market investment terms, having a wide range of things so that you're ready for any economic impact or unrest, civilian unrest or whatever in your country. Just be ready for anything. You never know what's going to happen. If a natural disaster comes, you need to be prepared. Like in Fort McMurray, if fire goes through, you need to be prepared and be smart and wise about it. So that is your market update and your gold and silver, your economic look for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, and we will see you probably tomorrow in the next prophecy sort of update there. Thanks for watching.